The title of this rating is Conversation. We all have lots of experience with conversation. It's the method of communication used most, whether we're talking, Facebooking, texting, emailing back and forth, yada, yada, yada. Dialogue is the currency of communication. The question becomes, are we using monopoly money or the real thing in conversation? Here are the conversations I dislike the most. Tit for tat, one-upsmanship, the last word, or who's more clever? These are conversations that go nowhere, except the same place they always go, the land of no connection. The grasshopper showed up one day with this nip of nectar. A conversation is more fruitful when it's more about discovery and less about what you know. If it's just about what you know, put it in a book or record it for posterity and give it to somebody, rather than pretending you're conversing with them when you're simply conducting a monologue. Each person in a conversation benefits more when they each discover something. The way to discover something in a conversation is to remain present. Most of us, when we start speaking, have our attention on what we're saying rather than on the person we're talking with. This always leads to disconnection. Reminds me of the broadcasting business. I can easily hear a broadcaster who's communicating and one who's not in a matter of about 3 seconds. When they're listening to their own voice rather than putting their attention on whom they're communicating with, they are dull, boring, predictable, and prone to speaking mistakes. The ones whose attention is on the people they're communicating with make a connection. When I used to coach broadcast talent, I used TV legend Barbara Walters as an example. I asked them if they thought she had a good speaking voice, and most always they said no. I then said she must be doing something well to be as successful as she's been for all these years. What she does is communicate. The conversation goes somewhere. She isn't focused as much on her question as she is on the response of the other person. She's in discovery mode. Just because you're talking to someone doesn't make it communication. The absent piece in most conversation is attention. Attending to not only yourself, but the other person as well. Most people's attention disappears when they start speaking. They go into their speaking trance and pay no attention to what's being received or not. If you know a person who blathers on, you can bet they have no attention on you and are discovering very little. Notice how empty you feel if they ever stop talking. No communication happens when people are disconnected. The next time you're in a conversation, pay attention and notice what happens. You'll start to make discoveries. If you already know everything, continue not to notice while conversing, and the only thing you'll discover is that you're becoming a party of one. You have the power of attention. Use it today, and my promise is this: you'll discover something new. All the best, John.